Hello and a big welcome to the channel. I'm the Motorsport Madman and this is the 2024 Spanish Grand Prix. If you are new to the channel, if you are a Formula 1 fan, then do get yourself subscribed. Don't forget to drop a like on the stream as well. I'm live for every single race from the Formula 1 World Championship, and this is round 10 of 24. In 2024, we are in Barcelona, Circuit de Catalunya, for round 10 with Lando Norris on pole position. His first pole position since Sochi, I think 2020, something like that, 21 maybe. But yeah, Lando Norris securing the pole position with a nigh on perfect lap yesterday in qualifying. By his own admission, his best lap that he's ever done in qualifying in his Formula 1 career. So yeah, it's Lando Norris who beat Max Verstappen by 21 thousandths of a second. It is extremely close now in 2024. We had 2023 was dead. We had the first part of this season was looking like 2023 part 2. But since Imola, about round 5, round 6, people have started to catch him up. People have started to catch him up. We've had Leclerc winning. We've had Norris winning. We've had Russell on pole. We've now got Lando Norris on pole. And Max Verstappen is finally under pressure for this World Championship. He is under pressure for this World Championship. And more than that, Red Bull are under serious pressure for the Constructors' Championship. By Ferrari and McLaren and maybe even Mercedes if they can get at least a car on the podium today. Lewis Hamilton starting from third, so we've got a top 3 of Norris, Verstappen, Hamilton for the Spanish Grand Prix. Welcome to the stream, Mitch, CL2, Todd, and the one and only. I'll have to change your name. I'll have to change your name on the Viewers' Championship, mate. It's going to be a Hamilton win. You know, you say that every week, but now there is actually a genuine chance. Because the amount of times you said that and it's Hamilton starting 11th or 9th or 8th, and I'm just like, yeah, probably not. Today, I wouldn't say it's impossible, you know? I wouldn't say it's outside the realms of possibility that Lewis Hamilton can win this. There's a chance. Are you saying there's a chance? There's a chance that Lewis Hamilton gets the dub. I would love to see that. But I would also love to see Lando Norris really putting on a championship charge and beating Verstappen today, head-to-head, toe-to-toe, man-to-man, beating him fair and square and saying, I am in this championship fight. So I would like to see the Lando Norris dub because I feel like for this really to become a proper championship battle, and not me hoping for a championship battle, like a genuine championship battle, Norris has to rack up 2 or 3 wins on the bounce. If Norris can win today, go to Austria next weekend and win that, then, you know, if he can rack up 2 wins in a row, if Leclerc could rack up 2 wins in a row, but Leclerc starting, P5, that's a long shot. But if someone other than Verstappen can rack up 2 or 3 wins on the bounce, it's game on big time because Verstappen is still within reaching distance. He's not so far ahead. You know, I said it, I think in the Canada or the race before that, I was saying that they've got to start winning now whilst Verstappen isn't already gone. If you start winning in round 15, round 17, he's already won it. And so, yeah, you can have a good end to the season, win a couple of races in the last 6. All right, great. Yeah, shift that momentum onto next season. And then that never happens. So, but we're not even halfway through. He can still be caught, but you need to start winning now. Norris needs to start beating Verstappen today for there to be a genuine championship challenge. So big up Lando Norris on the perfect lap yesterday, and let's hope he can convert that into a Spanish Grand Prix victory today. That's what I want to see. I want to see a championship battle. But yes, CL2. Yes, Mitch. Anyone apart from Verstappen today, I'll be happy. Yeah, and that's not. I'm in that same camp, and that's not because I'm anti-Verstappen. That's because I'm anti-domination. I just want a championship fight. And you know, if Verstappen was way behind in the championship, you know, if Verstappen was 50 points behind in the championship, I'd be like, go on, Max. show them who you are. You know, I'd be cheering on Max. I just want it close. I just want it close. And they're dangling the carrot now. 2024 is dangling a carrot of like, ooh, this could actually be good. Because 2023 had no carrots. It was dead from round 3, 4 onwards. I think it was by Monaco last year. That was it. It was done. And that was like round 6 out of 23 or whatever. And I was just sat here like, yeah, that's it. It's over. We're into round 10 and there's a bit of a dangling of a carrot here thinking, are we good season here? Are we on for a good one? Because it's about time, because I started this channel at the beginning of 22 and the first half of 22 was good. And then it's been Verstappen show, mate. It's been Verstappen show. So let's have a good season. But yes, welcome in. What are we saying? Only time said Lando will win, and he did. Oh, what in Miami? Yeah, that was a good shout. First at Silverstone. Yeah, well, this is it. We've got 3 races back to back. Today, Spain. Next week, Austria. Week after that, British Grand Prix. Now, for the British Grand Prix qualifying, I might miss that. I might be at work for the qualifying for the British Grand Prix. But listen, shoot me down, and you know. But it is what it is. I try and do my best. I'll be here for the race, and I try and do as many qualifying sessions as I can. You know what I mean? I probably missed 2 or 3 qualifying sessions throughout the season, but I try and make sure I'm here for every race. Big ups to Loz, because he's at work now on the shift that I should be doing, because Sunday's my day to be at work. But because I've got the best work colleagues in the world, I can be here watching a race instead with you lot, so get in there. But yeah, on the next one, yeah. This is it. If Norris can rack up 2 or 3 wins in the next 3 weeks, bang, let's go. Yes, Brownie, how we doing, bro? Yeah, the thing is, I don't want to wear a Mercedes cap every stream, because I feel like if I get a new viewer and I'm in a Mercedes cap every stream, they're gonna click on. They're gonna be like, oh, this guy's a Mercedes fan, and click off it. When I'm not. I just happen to have a Mercedes cap because it's F1 merch. Do you know what I mean? I'm neutral these days. Like I say, I have a group of favourites, but I do not support one particular team or one particular driver. But I feel like if I sit here and wear a Mercedes cap all year, then someone who's new will just go, Mercedes fan. If they're a Ferrari fan or they're a Verstappen fan or they're an whoever fan, they're just going to think, nah, click off it again. So I've got to be neutral, you know what I mean? Because I am neutral at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I didn't used to be when I was growing up, when I was 16, 17, 18 years old, mate. It was live or die Lewis Hamilton, you know? But I'm older, you know what I mean? Older and wiser. But yes, Chrissy, welcome to the stream. How are we doing? Austria's way better than Spain. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like the Spanish Grand Prix has produced fantastic races every year, because it hasn't. Hopefully we get a good one today and it kind of breaks that trend of Barcelona being a bit dead. But stay tuned. Stay tuned. It's going to be a fantastic race. Touch wood. But we'll see, innit? It doesn't typically produce phenomenal races, this circuit. Hence why they are ditching it and going to Madrid. I think in 26 they're going to Madrid. So this is the penultimate race at Circuit de Catalunya, Barcelona, however they want to say it. But yes, Brownie, welcome to the stream, bro. Anybody as well, anybody that's in live chat, if you're watching and you've not typed a message in live chat yet, get in, because you will be, even if you just say hello and then never watch again, you will be entered into the next round of the Viewers' Championship, which will either be tomorrow night or Tuesday night. I'll probably do it tomorrow night on the back of this. Probably do Viewers' Championship tomorrow night, round 10. There's already about 55 people in that, so get yourself entered into the next round. But yes, do they still do Spanish at Barcelona or Jerez? I don't think they've raced at Jerez for a Grand Prix since the late 90s. It's been at this circuit for, at least 20 odd years. But like I say, this is the penultimate circuit at this track in Barcelona. Before we go to Madrid, I've not really seen the track layout of that. but I hope it's not like a Miami semi-street circuit, temporary thing. But I'm not a great lover of street tracks. But then again, this is a permanent circuit. And is it a fantastic one? No, it's not. So maybe I back that they're trying to do something different. But yeah, I'm not really loving the prospect of a Madrid street circuit, although, you know, they've got to follow the money, and if Madrid are putting in a big bid and they're going to get more fans or whatever it is, then you've got to follow that. But yes, welcome to the stream, guys. AFC's in. Yeah, does anyone care to please it? They're like, yeah. I can't be sat here on 0 likes. You know what I mean? I never can see how many likes I've got, so that's why you'll never hear me say like, oh, I've got 8 likes, get me to 10, because I ain't got a clue, because it's not on the screen. You know what I mean? so you know what I mean? I think that's if you go live through YouTube, whereas I go live through Streamlabs, if you get me. So I don't actually go on YouTube and then click go live. I actually do it through Streamlabs, which, according to Denver, Jordan, and Jamza, that is the incorrect way to do it. And but it's just the way that I'm used to doing it. So I'm not really on YouTube right now. I'm on Streamlabs. Nah, it's just the way I've been doing it. I know which buttons to click. Do you know what I mean? And when you're the other side of 30, you're not as tech savvy as someone who's like 22, are you? 21. You know what I mean? In fact, I downloaded I downloaded a racing game on the sim the other day. I didn't download it. I got Sean, anyone that knows CMZY, I got Sean to basically, you know when someone takes over your PC, so their mouse is on your screen and they're in control, I just let him do it, and he had to download all these things, open all these files, downloading that, put that file there, download it on there, put it on that drive, put it on that drive. All it was download a racing game that we were just going to play for one night, do you know what I mean? And it took an hour at least. There's no way I could have done that on my own. I am not that tech savvy to be downloading and transferring files. No chance. But I can do Streamlabs just about. Big up to tech support CMZY, because we got a Seto Corsa on the go the other night, and it was sick. Hey, showing your age, Barcelona, yeah. Now, they used to race at a ref, innit? Back in the day. But I don't think they've been there since... It might be early 2000s. But yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while, Brownie. I'm sweating here. It's roasting today. I've got both windows cracked as wide as it can go, and sat here sweating my ass off. But it is what it is. So apologies if I look like a sweaty mess. Sat here with a shiny face and all the rest of it. But the British summer has somewhat arrived. Yes, Anto, welcome to the stream, bro. I'm good. How are you? We're about 15 minutes away from the start of the Spanish Grand Prix. That's your grid lineup. Perez has got a 3-place grid penalty because he crashed in Canada and tried to get back to the pits with a damaged car with debris going everywhere. And it was kind of to benefit his teammates, so it didn't bring the safety car out, and Verstappen still got the lead. So it was kind of a little bit of a dodgy move from Red Bull and Perez to keep Perez out there with a damaged car with his rear wing hanging off the back, as to not bring out the safety car, help Verstappen get the win. So it was a bit of a dodgy underhand one, and for that, Perez has been slapped with a 3-place grid penalty, so he's starting P11 in the Red Bull. Not looking good. Not looking good for Sergio Perez. And does he deserve the 2-year deal that he's just got with Red Bull? Probably not. But he's got it, and he needs to improve. He needs to improve, because there'll be some people high up in Red Bull on the Red Bull board meeting saying, have we dropped a bollock here? Because people have caught up now. Lando Norris and McLaren are right there. Mercedes are catching up. Ferrari seem a little bit inconsistent. One week they're there, one week they're not. But Ferrari are there or thereabouts, so people are catching up. And if you've got Verstappen at the front, Perez in P11 and everybody else in between, you're not going to win the Constructors' Championship. Verstappen can still wrestle a decent car and still probably win you the Drivers' Championship. But But you ain't winning the Constructors' Championship with Sergio Perez in this form. No chance. Because everybody else is getting in between. McLaren are going to get a solid, well, touch wood, McLaren are going to get a solid amount of points here. Piastri did mess up qualifying as well, so he'll be looking to come through the pack a little bit. But, you know, Ferrari are going to get a solid amount of points. Mercedes are looking to get a big chunk of points. Sergio Perez is not really helping Red Bull at the moment by qualifying 8th, ending up starting 11th. And this is every week. This isn't just a one-off. All right, you do it once or twice, you know, 3-4 times in a season. You drop the ball a bit, all right. But this is... Sergio Perez has probably started outside the top 10 more than he started inside the top 10 this season. I don't know that as a fact. I'm just spewing that in the spur of the moment. But I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. You get my message. You get what I'm trying to say. You know, whereas Perez should be qualifying top 5 every week. You know, he's not even in the top 10 on a regular basis. So, they might have dropped a bullet signing him up for the next 2 years. But rumours that Jay Slater will be running naked down the track. Who's Jay Slater? And why is he running naked? I might have to call BS on that one, Brownie. Unless I see it. If I see it, then, yeah, they probably won't show that on Sky anyway. We'll all be done for nudity if that happens, mate. You're getting ready to see some beauty. Spain should go back to Valencia. Do you know what? That I actually rated that. And I'm not usually a fan of street circuits in general. But Valencia was good. Yeah. I don't know. Did they lose investment? Did they lose funding? I don't know. But it wasn't through it being a terrible race that Valencia... And Valencia didn't last long, did it? Valencia probably did about 3 or 4 races there. From like 2012-ish to like 2015, 16, something. They probably only had 3 or 4 races at Valencia, if not, maybe even less than that. But I don't know why that went kaput. But it shouldn't have done. But they used to have that as the European Grand Prix. That was never the Spanish Grand Prix, though, was it? Because they always came here. So they always used to do a European Grand Prix, which they haven't done that for a long time. It's sort of unnecessary these days. But they always used to have a European Grand Prix, which was a weird premise in the first place. And it used to be there at Valencia, but we don't need that anymore. You got countries queuing up. In fact, they dropped the ball. They dropped the ball signing Perez on till 26. I think so, mate. Honestly. You know what I mean? I'd qualify that Red Bull in P11 for this race. You know what I mean? I'm probably about 3 or 4 stone overweight and probably past my prime. But I'd give it a good do, you know what I mean? If I could squeeze myself into the cockpit like that, I'll give him a run for his money. It's terrible. It's absolutely shocking. And there must be some people in the Red Bull high up in the board meetings just going, "Oh mate, we should have got Sainz." You know what I mean? They should have gone for Sainz. But then thing is, Perez started off the season well, didn't he? He had what was it, 3 or 4 podiums in the first 4 races, and so probably the decision was made then. You know, the decision was probably made in April. Since then, it's been shocking. But anyway, we're getting the race underway in about 8 minutes. Sky are on an ad break at the minute. I don't think Martin Brundle's there this weekend. There's that many races these days that the commentary teams and the presenters and the pundits and all that, they're on rotation. They're on rotation now. You know, gone are the days where you'd have like a bunch of like 5 or 6 presenters, 2 commentators, and they go to every single race. It ain't like that now. They're in groups. They're on rotation. There's just too many races. You know, they should have capped it at. To be honest with you, I think 20 races is enough. 24's too many. 24's too many. 20's about right. When I first started watching this in about 05, 06, it was about 16, 17 races. That's not quite enough. Then it went, you know, that every year, another one. Where does it end? Where does it end? We're at the limit now, surely. 24 races, bro. I think 20's a sweet spot. So, yeah, I don't think the point is, I don't think Martin Brundle's even at this race. Switching up commentary to him, unless I'm wrong, unless I get my headphones on in a minute, and it is Martin Brundle. But yeah, has anyone got any predictions for this one anyway? Is Lando Norris going to see this through or what? What's the consensus here? Because I tell you now, it's a long run down to that turn one. It is a very long run down to that turn one. And it's difficult to say, but you might almost be better off starting second or third here. Do you know what I mean? Because you get in that slipstream. I've seen Alonso start fourth here and lead into turn one. It's a long run. And the thing is, Lando Norris is going to have to, if he's easy on the outside, I guess the way the grid positions will be, Norris will be on the left-hand side, which will be the outside if you get to turn one. Verstappen will be on the inside. So Norris, he'll have to cut across Verstappen straight away. If for Norris to keep the lead, you know, the first 30 seconds of this race is absolutely crucial. It is every week, but this is extra crucial. Because if Lando Norris has any chance here, really, I don't know what the pace is going to be like, but really you could do with cutting across Verstappen straight away within the first 3 seconds. Make it single file. Get a good start. Get in front of Verstappen and defend the inside line. So that make Verstappen have to try and pass you around the outside, and then that'll become. Then he'll have the inside for turn 2, though, would Max. But Lando would have the inside for 3. Oh, it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one from pole position here. I'm not going to lie. It's a tricky one from pole position. It really is, genuinely. And really, you should be in the prime position in pole. You know, pole position should be not easy, but leading into turn 1 here in Barcelona from pole position, it's not a said and done thing. Yes, Salty Dog, welcome to the stream, bro. How are you doing? Well, we are 5 minutes away from the Spanish Grand Prix. 66 laps. Hopefully the live GPS thing works. That's obviously the live timings. Albon started from the pit lane. I do not know why, because I've not been watching the build-up. Poor form. But, yeah, Albon from the pit lane, I presume, because they've changed some parts on the car. And once you go into qualifying, you cannot change anything on the car. So if you do, you start from the pit lane. That's probably what's happened to Alex Albon, because they were at the back anyway, weren't they, Williams? So they probably thought, well, we might as well stick a new engine in it, or whatever they've done. And yeah, right, let's get zoned in. Is that really his name? I feel like you've gone to the extreme on that name, bro. Carlos Sainz Vasquez de Castro. Selemo Rincon Rebollo Brito Moreño de Castereño Antiguereño de Pereira del Tun. Yeah, somehow, I'm calling BS on that name, right? Anyway, Alexander Albon from the pit lane. This is the full grid lineup then. Logan Sargent from P19 on the grid. Daniel Ricciardo from P18. It's then Yuki Tsunoda, P17. Very disappointing qualifying for RB. It's then Kevin Magnussen from P16. It's Zhou Guan Yu from P15 on the grid. Then we have got Lance Stroll, P14. Nico Hülkenberg from P13 on the grid in the Haas. It's then Valtteri Bottas from P12. Sergio Perez from P11. Outside the top 10, what is he doing, bro? We then got Fernando Alonso, P10, at his home race in the Aston Martin. Oscar Piastri, who messed up his final lap in qualifying, in P9. It's then Esteban Ocon and Pierre Gasly, 8th and 7th. Alpine's coming up strong. And then we've got an all third row Ferrari of Carlos Sainz, P6. Charles Herve, Percival Leclerc, P5. It's then an all-British second row with George Russell just behind Lewis Hamilton. And then a front row of Max Emilian Verstappen and Lando Norris from pole position. Let's go. Let's have a good Spanish Grand Prix. My hopes are high. I've been sat here an hour and a half going 2 out of 10, boys. Hopefully not. Hopefully not, bro. If I'm sat here an hour and a half going, what we're saying, 2 out of 10 or 3 out of 10, then it's been a typical Spanish Grand Prix. But I'm hoping for a better than typical Spanish Grand Prix. Right, I'm going to have a quick pit stop myself before the race gets underway. Hey, have a quick pit stop now. This is what happens. They play the national anthem. Everyone goes for a wee. That's how it works, isn't it? Hello and welcome to the sweaty Spanish Grand Prix. British summertime's arrived. Right, who's having it? Are we having it? Is this on? Is this race on? Let's have a do. Spanish Grand Prix. Let's go. I hope we get a good one today, man. Yes, JJ, welcome to the stream. Yes, Dougie, I didn't say hello. Welcome to the stream, Dougie. How are we doing? Afternoon, good afternoon, Brit. Unfortunately, you can't tap it. Look at the F1 Stride, second most popular short. I don't know. I'm not doing shorts, man. Yes, Lee, welcome to the stream, mate. We are on the formation lap. Come on, man. This is going to be crucial, this start. I mean, every start's critical. You know what I mean? What am I chatting? But every start's critical. But when you start in pole position with Max Verstappen alongside on the inside, oh, mate, this start. I don't think Lewis Hamilton's got a podium this season, has he? Yet either. As far as I know. Racking my brains. I don't think Lewis Hamilton stood on the podium this season. So big opportunity as well for Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes to sort of get the season up and running. Hamilton's had a first 9 races to forget, really. But they're catching up. Mercedes are coming on strong. No, Lewis hasn't had one. Maybe today's the day, Matty P. Welcome to the stream. Good afternoon, Anthony. Good afternoon, Matty. You've both been entered into the Viewers' Championship now. Now you've entered yourself into the live chat. You've entered yourself into the next round of the Viewers' Championship. Tune in tomorrow night. I'll probably do it 8 p.m. tomorrow night. It depends who's playing in the football. England are Tuesday, so yeah, might be all right. Anyway, we'll see. I might do it before or after that, so I don't clash with the football, actually. Because I want to watch it myself as well. It's not about viewers and all that. It's just about I want to watch it myself. But yes, we are lining up on the grid. What are you saying, Matty? Are you going for a Hamilton win today or what? What are you saying, Anthony? Lee, come on. I want to see predictions. Come on. 4th or 5th? I think so. You're up there. You're up there, man. I'll check it in a bit. You're up there. Yeah, because you're in most streams, isn't it? Everyone who's been in most of the streams are all going to be up there. You know what I mean? It rewards consistency and it rewards people that keep coming back and watching throughout the year. Those people get rewarded. So that is how it is going. Also relies a bit on luck as well. You can be in one race and win it, and then be and then be in the top 10 of the championship. That's how the cookie crumbles. Anyway, right, we've got the green flag then. Oh, it is Lando Norris on the outside, Max Verstappen on the inside. And we're underway for the 2024 Spanish Grand Prix. Verstappen's already alongside. Lando Norris does try to cut him off, just like I said, down the inside. But Verstappen has got that inside line, crucially. Here comes George Russell. They're 3 wide into turn 1. And Norris has to back out of it big time. George Russell takes the lead in the Spanish Grand Prix out of turn 1. But Lando Norris had to back out of that one. It was either crash or get on the brakes. Lando Norris chose the brake pedal, chose survival, and George Russell sweeps round the outside and leads the Spanish Grand Prix. It's Russell from Verstappen, from Norris, from Hamilton, from Leclerc, from Sainz, top 6. Let's go. What a start from George Russell. And this is what I was saying about the run down to turn 1. It's so long. I said you better start in 2nd or 3rd, and so it proves to be. George Russell from 4th on the grid leads the race. Incredible. George Russell has just performed the Grand Prix start of his life from P4 to the lead. I said the run down to turn 1. It's the longest run down to turn 1 on the calendar. Maybe. Asterisk, maybe. And George Russell, at the end of lap 1, leads Max Verstappen. And Lando Norris had to back out of that. They went 3 wide. It was Verstappen on the inside, Norris in the middle, Russell on the outside. And Norris had to go, bollocks to this, get on the brakes, because we're not having a 3-way collision in turn 1. This is a long championship. And Norris did the right thing. Many people wouldn't. If that was Kevin Magnussen in the middle, elbows out and we're all going in the gravel trap. But he did the right thing and he survived. And let's have a race. Let's have a race. Yes, Dan, welcome to the stream, bro. Welcome to the Spanish Grand Prix. George Russell has that's the highlight of his career so far. I know he won the Brazilian Grand Prix. That start right there. I want to see the replay. Mega job. I tell you what, though, Max is sticking with him, though. Max ain't letting George get away with this one. I tell you what, Mercedes are back, aren't they? I mean, me saying Mercedes are back is like Manchester United winning a game and then a United fan going, United are back. Chill out, do you know what I mean? Oh my God, it's side by side into turn 1 between Russell and Verstappen. Verstappen attacks him. Verstappen takes the lead. Mercedes are not back. It lasted about 3 minutes. Oh my God. You can't stop the inevitable. You cannot stop the dawn of the next day. It is inevitable. Mate, George Russell, you've had a couple of laps in the lead. Now hand it over to me. Hand it over to the king. Oh my goodness me. Nah, Verstappen was never going to let that one lie. Do you know what I mean? You can predict Russell all you want, Anthony. but the prediction was looking good a minute ago. It's not looking good right now. Oh, mate, I stand by, though. An incredible start from George Russell. And we need to see the replay of that. From fourth to the lead. It was like Fernando Alonso in his prime, you know. You don't often see someone start P4 and lead into turn one. That is a 1 in every 2 or 3 seasons kind of a situation. Or even rarer than that. It's once a decade. It's a once a decade scenario. So that was an exciting one, but Verstappen's eating him up big time. And Verstappen leads the Spanish Grand Prix. I can hear people clicking off the stream now. I can hear people clicking. Oh, Verstappen leads again. Oh, fucking right. What time's kickoff? What's the game today? Do you know what I mean? Damn, bro. Yeah, Max comes to Daddy. You know he would, though. Exactly. You knew that anyone that's got a bit about him knew that Russell was not going to just romp away at the front and dominate the Grand Prix. We know. But let's hope that he's under pressure. Maybe Norris needs to get past Russell as well. But Sainz on team radio saying that he's collided with who? With his teammate or what? We need to see a replay of that. So the order then on the end of lap 4, start of lap 5 is Verstappen, Russell, Norris, Hamilton, Sainz, Leclerc, Gasly, Piastri, Ocon and Hülkenberg rounds out the top 10 with Norris putting George Russell under big pressure and also Leclerc putting big pressure on Sainz. So the Ferraris are swapped round from the grid positions. And Lewis Hamilton as well keeping up with Norris. So Russell, Norris and Hamilton extremely close on the circuit. Ernesto, come on, Sainz. Yeah, Sainz has passed his teammate. Right, here's a replay of the start then. See, look at that. Norris pushes Verstappen onto the grass. He tried to do the move that I said about blocking that inside line. Wow. What a start that was from George Russell. And I tell you what, Lando Norris did the right thing backing out of that because that was ruthless. Here we go, replay of the start then, on board with Max Verstappen. And look at that, Norris tries to squeeze him. Wow, and Russell round the outside. Verstappen must have been like, what? You know, Verstappen's going into turn 1 thinking, I've got the lead here. And then a wild George Russell appears. He must be, look at this. Then Russell with the slipstream of the Verstappen and Norris and round it, straight around the outside. You'd be turning in there, wincing, thinking, please don't take me out. Please don't take me out. Right around the outside goes George Russell. That wouldn't work in the F1 game. You'd get wiped into oblivion. But let's see the replay on board with Fernando Alonso. A bit of contact. He got hit at the rear by who I do not know, but Fernando Alonso has had some contact, and now we see the replay of the pass for the lead. Russell tries to defend on the inside, and Verstappen just sweeps right round. It was close, almost wheel-to-wheel contact at turn 2, but Verstappen gets the lead. And then look at this, and the two Ferraris went side by side into turn 1. Sainz had to cut across turn 2. So Leclerc defended it. Sainz was around the outside. And did he slightly touch their front wheel to rear wheel? Sainz is now ahead of Leclerc due to that move. But was it legal? I don't know. 12 likes, get in there. Yeah, that's usually what I get. I usually get between 10 and 15 likes on a stream. Yeah, it's very rarely less than 7 or 8. It's very rarely more than about 15. So that's the ballpark we play on CL2. That's my ballpark. it is what it is. But yeah, CL2, appreciate you. He's subbing type. Yeah, this is it. You got to get involved in live chat. That's what it's about, man. Get involved in the conversation. So Verstappen leads Russell by 1.5 now, but Norris is within DRS range, then 0.8 of a second behind the Mercedes. Hamilton just about keeping Norris within DRS as well, a second behind. We've then got a 1.3 second gap to the two Ferraris of Sainz and Leclerc. Then Pierre Gasly still there in P7. Piastri's made up a couple of positions from his starting grid spot in P8. So we've got both Alpines in the top 10 at the moment then, and Hülkenberg in the final points paying position ahead of Sergio Perez still on lap 8. Go on then, Hülkenberg. George Russell Team Radio. Pushing level. Just confirm pushing level more than the others. In other words, how hard are you trying, mate? And he's saying, I'm trying harder than the others. Which is going to use your tyres up quicker. This is the thing. Gasly. Well, yeah. You know what I mean? P7, not too shabby. Alpine, what, most improved team in 2024 so far? Coming from the back to midfield. Top end of the midfield now, Alpine, in 10 races. It's not bad going, that, is it? On that rate, they'll be winning races in the second half of the season, wouldn't they? Keep that development going. Obviously, they won't, but they have improved a lot, though. So every single car, I've not mentioned this up to now, every single tyre chat, every single car is on the soft tyre, bar Alexander Albon in P19 on the mediums. So it is about now how long the soft tyre lasts and eking it out as long as you can. I mean, I guess we've got to be on for a two-stop race, haven't we? I didn't really pay attention to the strategy stuff before the race started, but I would guess we're on a two-stop. Look at that then. Leclerc all over the apex in turn 6. And look at this then. Alonso under big pressure from Kevin Magnussen. The Aston Martin drop-off from last season to this season is something that needs to be studied. Fernando Alonso bagging a podium in virtually every race at the start of last season. And now he's scrapping over 15th place with Kevin Magnussen. 12 months later. The drop-off is mad from Aston Martin. Ferrari's upgrades seemed like it didn't work as they were expected to be. Russell with an absolute send, I know. I bet you're gutted this season, man. Being an Alonso fan in 2024 is bleak. It's bleak times, bro. This is why you got to be fluid. Or else it's just pain. Mind you, I was in a Mick Schumacher pain a couple of years ago, so it's not easy, man, supporting someone that hasn't got a chance. And through no fault of his own, you know, he's clearly got the talent, but this is a weird sport where it's not purely based on talent. It's a mixture of equipment and talent. It's a strange old sport. Basically, it's an engineering competition, basically. Formula One. It's an engineering competition of which the driver is just one part of the cog. It's an engineering competition at the end of the day. Cheers, Ernesto. Get yourself subscribed if you're into Formula One. If you're here for the first time, this isn't just a one-off. Been doing this for 2.5 years, and I'm here for every single Grand Prix. So get yourself subbed, because back for Austria in 7 days, back for Silverstone in 14 days, and then we'll be halfway through the season, and hopefully we've got a championship fight on by then. Feel like Alonso might have a car issue. Yeah, maybe. Well, he did get hit in turn 1. We've gone through way more pain than you had. Yeah. Yeah, because you know the success that could be had. You know what you're missing out on. You know that Alonso can be in a fight to win. And the pain of him being at the back is, yeah, not fair. But yeah, Kevin Magnussen has pitted then from what was P15. So is Magnussen the first one to blink and change tyres then onto the mediums? Oh no, a few other drivers have pitted then. So Zhou and Tsunoda as well have pitted for the mediums. Verstappen's got the fastest lap at the moment. He leads George Russell by 2.9 seconds. So Verstappen's starting to eke it out now, making sure he doesn't get caught out by the undercut. Should Russell choose to do that, or should Mercedes choose to do that, Verstappen should be just about safe now with a 2.8 second gap. Lando Norris still there in third, keeping up with George Russell. Keeping within DRS range, and also the 2 Ferraris now are within DRS of Lewis Hamilton. So we've got sort of from 2nd to 6th all in a row. Get your ducks in a line. Look at that then. Valtteri Bottas losing a rear end, and Fernando Alonso dipping 2 wheels into the gravel. I wonder if he has got a bit of damage on the rear end of that Aston Martin, been clonked in turn 1. Probably not helping him, as we see then Sergio Perez in P10 under pressure from Nico Hülkenberg. So Perez has passed Hülkenberg then. That's what we've missed. That's not Hülkenberg closing up on Perez. That's Perez having passed Hülkenberg and up into the points. Yeah, so 4 cars have stopped already onto the mediums. And we're going to get a chain reaction now. But the leaders come round again for another lap. That gap is stabilised between the top 2 at 2.7, 2.8 seconds. So are Mercedes going to pull the trigger here and try and do it? But 3 seconds is... Verstappen should be safe anyway. Hülkenberg's in then, is he? Yep, Hülkenberg pits from P11 then. Not quite central. Scoot over a little bit. Oh, wow, Verstappen lost the rear end in 7, drifting round. Ooh. These tyres are going. These tyres are starting to scream now. See, the thing is, Norris can undercut Russell. Who's gonna be the first to blink here of the leaders? Yeah, look at this. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. And then it's not a massive gap to Pierre Gasly, is it? Pierre Gasly's actually got a good pace. He's keeping Piastri out of DRS behind him. The Alpine's actually pretty decent. Perez is in for a scrub set of softs. Okay. 8 points short of Alonso being potentially 5-time world champion. I know. Mad. Yeah. The McLaren Honda era. Oh, that was horrendous. And now this fall off in Aston Martin. Oh, tearing your hair out. Yeah, Lando wants the undercut then, so I feel like McLaren have to bite the bullet here, take the chance, and pit Lando Norris and try and get ahead of George Russell, because he can't do it on track. Look at this. We just need a DRS train here. Oh, look at this. And Lewis Hamilton increasingly under pressure from Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari for P4. And obviously Sainz is dragging along Leclerc with him. So, and Gasly pits then from 7th. A slow stop right rear onto a fresh set of mediums for Gasly, but that's a 6.7 second pit stop. Now, a normal pit stop is about 2.5 seconds. A particularly good one can be as low as 2 seconds, but you're looking at 2.5 second pit stop. That was a 6.7. So he's net lost 4 seconds there in the pits, Pierre Gasly, and that is not going to help him keep Piastri and Stroll behind him. He was doing well. It's not fair for Gasly that. He was doing well. Look at the clouds there. Is there any threat of rain this afternoon? They look like dark clouds there coming into the back of the circuit. I've not heard about any threat of rain, but those look like dark clouds coming in. But anyway, so Russell's in. So what are we doing, Russell? What are we doing Norris-wise, right? So George Russell... I don't know about that. I wonder if the order to Lando Norris would have been box opposite Russell. So if Russell stays out, you pit. If Russell pits, you stay out. I just wonder if that lap was absolutely critical. And look at that. George Russell's had a 5.3 second stop. Oh my goodness me. George Russell under big pressure. Right. Mercedes have not had a good pit stop there. And that might lose him second place in the Grand Prix. A 5.3 second stop from Mercedes is not good enough. And Lando Norris here, fill your boots. You've got to get P2 now out of this pit stop phase. Mercedes have messed it up on George Russell's side of the garage anyway. We'll see, because if Ferrari's all over the back of George Russell now, he's lost about 3 seconds there in the pit stop. Of course they mess it up, I know. Lando might still end up coming out in front of it. Yeah, I think Lando will end up second here now. Because he don't have chief technical officer over a year, and Dan Fallon's just clearly not the guy. Can lead technical development for the team. Yeah, I don't know, man. Tricky one at Aston. But Lewis is in then. Come on, Mercedes. It's got to be... That looked a good one. 2.3. Good stop for Hamilton. And here comes the pack then. So Hamilton comes out behind Russell and Sainz. Verstappen and Norris stayed out up to now then. Norris team radio. Wow. Lando Norris wants the victory. He's not satisfied with jumping George Russell in the pit stops on... He's interested in catching Max Verstappen. Well, you've got to love the ambition. You've got to love that ambition. Verstappen pits from the lead of the Grand Prix on lap 17. Oh. Okay. Okay, the chess pieces are starting to move here. And now, what does Norris... Does Norris has to react to this, does he not? If Norris didn't react to Russell, Norris has to now react to Verstappen. So Verstappen's back out into the race in P4. Norris, Leclerc and Piastri, top three, have yet to stop. And Hamilton putting big pressure on... Carlos Sainz. Oh, and Hamilton almost tries it round the outside. Be careful, you don't want to be smashing into a Ferrari when you're joining them in about 6 months' time. Careful now, Lewis. Careful, you don't want to be dive bombing a Ferrari if you're in Lewis Hamilton's shoes right now. You're going to make it a nice, clean move. Just be steady. Right, so are Norris and Leclerc going to pit now? Norris has stayed out. Norris has stayed out again. So McLaren have not reacted to Russell and they've not reacted to Verstappen. They are on their own. They're on their own strategy and they don't care what anybody else is doing. Oh, sure, this is how this is going to play out though. Because everyone's going to be rapid now on fresh tyres. And look at that. And then Hamilton down the inside of Sainz. There's a little bit of argy-bargy, get your elbows out. But Lewis Hamilton gets the move done. He shoves Carlos Sainz out of the way in turn 1. And Hamilton up to P6 then. Ooh, what a move it is. And down the inside, you see the good racing. Get your elbows out and get yourself on the curb because I'm coming through, boy. Look at this. Oh, there's slight contact wheel to wheel, but it's nothing to cry about. It's good, hard, fair racing. You know, Sainz is on the radio crying, but it's hard fought. But Lewis has got the move done. So we're having a replay of the George Russell pit stop that took 4 seconds longer than it should have done. Already put off this season for Alonso. It's massively off. Yeah, I know. If you tie your colours to one man and that team are letting him down, I suppose your enthusiasm just drains with it. I can totally understand that. Maybe they're going to let Oscar hold up Max. Yeah, you know, Leclerc and Piastri still out. Well, Norris, Leclerc and Piastri still out there. Alonso pits then. 2.9 second stop. He's on to the mediums, as is the seemingly the strat today. Soft to medium. Lap 20 of 66. Norris, Leclerc, Piastri still out there on the soft tyres. Oh, I don't know. They're doing their own thing then, aren't they then? They're not even... What's it exactly? Karen Chandok is questioning McLaren now, saying, what's the game here? Exactly. What is the game here? I can't help think, but... I mean, I might end up eating my words here, but I can't help thinking McLaren have dropped a massive bollock here. Why have they've not reacted to Russell? They've not reacted to Verstappen. They're doing their own thing. If they pit now, they come out, P6, P7. So now, with Lando Norris, they're committing to, like, going long on an old, worn-out set of softs and do a one-stop onto the hard tyres. I mean, it might pan out, and it might be absolutely... It might be a magical strategy decision, but... Verstappen gets past Piastri. That's what you were saying about... you were saying about Oscar holding up Max. It didn't last long. Maybe they were open. Maybe you're right, Cat Deprived. Maybe you're right. Maybe McLaren's strat was, right, Oscar, hold him up, son. Not panned out. It is an interesting game McLaren are playing here, but if everybody else is doing one strategy and you're the only one doing the other strategy, chances are you got it wrong. Piastri pits. Well, he might as well. Verstappen's got past him. He holds no value in still being out there, so you might as well pit Oscar Piastri at this point. But what are they doing with Lando Norris, man? They're on a plan B, plan C, plan Z. I mean, it might work out in the long run. You know, if Norris can stretch it out, still keep up a decent pace, and then what? Slap on the hard tyres and do 40 laps? I mean, try it, innit? Try it, I guess. But if it were me on that strategy wall, I think I'd have seen Russell pitting, and I would have seen Russell having a slow pit stop and gone, pit now. Oh my God. I've got to be honest, if it was me ahead of strategy at McLaren, I'd have seen Russell pit. I'd have seen that he's done a slow pit stop, and I'd have called it then and there. And I'd have just pitted him straight away, got out ahead of Russell, got second. Verstappen still leads, but now go and hunt him down. You haven't got a Mercedes in the way. Go and show your pace. Go and hunt him down. Fair and square. But instead, they've gone off on this massive tangent now where they're in this no man's land of you can't pit now because you'll be 7th. So keep going and going and going and going and going and going, and oh my, and they're on a completely different. I just don't know if it's the right thing to do. It might be, but I'm not feeling particularly confident about it. 6 hours of the Glen later, is it? I might try it. I wonder if that'll be on British television. I'll be able to find it somehow. I'll probably watch some of that. Yeah. Oscar's just not experienced enough to hold up a driver like Max. It'd probably be very difficult as well with Max on fresh tyres and stuff. Are you really going to keep Max behind for a long time anyway? And now Norris pits. Nah, man. So McLaren have prioritised Norris being on 6-7 lap fresher tyres over track position, basically. In a nutshell, McLaren have thought that it's more beneficial to have 6 laps on the field in terms of tyre wear than it is to be 5 positions higher up. If it works out, it works out. I hold my hands up and say, fair dinkum. I'm silent because I'm listening to Karen Chandok trying to explain this McLaren strategy right now. So Karen Chandok reckons, what tyres is Norris on now? What have they put him on? It's not coming up on the graphics. I assume he's on the mediums. So Karen Chandok's saying that McLaren will go long again in this stint and try and stick on the soft tyres at the end and then be rapid at the end and pass Verstappen for the win. I feel like that's a long shot, mate. I'm not. I mean, Yeah, Verstappen, the ultimate peak of his... I'm just completely baffled by this McLaren strategy. And listen, they're on big salaries and they're paid big money to come up with this kind of a situation, but I'm telling you now, I'd have undercut Russell straight away and got second place. This might work out. McLaren are prioritising. The gamble is Lando Norris is on 6-lap fresher tyres. He's got to go and overtake everybody then. The only way this works for McLaren is Lando Norris has got to be on absolute smoke now. And he's got to rampage. He's got to pass Sainz. He's got to pass Hamilton. He's got to pass Russell. And then he's got to go and chase Verstappen for the win. This is it. So they've prioritised having slightly fresher tyres over track position. Put you down for that championship. What, for 6 hours of the Glen? Well, I tell you what championship you are in tomorrow, Suede. The Viewers' Championship. Thank you for everybody that's typed a message in chat. That's how you get yourself entered into a virtual race that I hold in between every single Grand Prix. And everyone that was in live chat for the watch along for the Grand Prix, which is this stream, is entered into a virtual race on iRacing. So get yourself into round 10. Yes, Simon, welcome to the stream, bro. Yes, Barry, welcome in as well. Rob, calm down when you went Norris rant. I lost you as the phone was overheating. I'm sure if it was your rental in Tenerife, son. When you were in Norris rant. Which Norris rant? What, then? Like 10 minutes ago? Oh, we're enjoying your time in Tenerife anyway. Hey, tell you what, isn't there a lad gone missing in Tenerife, though? I mean, it's just swarming with police, isn't it? That's what I heard on Sky News anyway. There's been a lad gone missing. I mean, I didn't expect to be getting into that on the stream today, but Tenerife's a place to be at the minute. We'd be swarming with police and... So where is Norris in relation to the top then? So we've got Verstappen. We're on lap 27 of 66, so we're nearly at half race distance. Verstappen leads by 6.7 seconds over the two Mercedes boys of Russell and Hamilton. Then Norris on a completely different strategy sits in P4. I said this about the dark clouds, so just picking up on this on Sky now. Have we got any risk of rain here? Because those clouds are looking like rain clouds to me. You know what I mean? I'm no climatic expert, but it's looking a bit dodgy. Well, I haven't heard anything about rain, so I'm just saying what I see. Say what you see. It's catchphrase. But yeah, I'm still not convinced about this McLaren strategy. But then we've got the two McLarens of 5th and 6th. Gasly's still up there in 7th, despite the slow pit stop. Ocon 8th, so both Alpines still in the points, and then we're watching this battle then. So Ocon under pressure from Piastri, who's himself under pressure from Sergio Perez, still down there in P10. He's not made great grounds, has he, in the first half of this race? Hulkenberg's then 11th, then Zhou, Stroll, Alonso, Bottas, Magnussen, Ricciardo, Albon, Sargent, and Tsunoda. So Tsunoda's out of the race. I don't know why. Oh, no, he's just coming out of the pits. All 20 cars still in the race. So we've still got all 20 running in the race. Rain would be interesting, that is for sure. Look at how black the clouds are at the... Like that shot of the main straight of the cars coming towards you, the clouds there... But they're saying on Sky that the clouds are not blowing in this direction. Well, if they were, you'd be talking major downpour. Look at that. VCarb absolutely horrendous. I know. What's going on with VCarb? Is it because the circuit sort of, you know, I said this yesterday in the qualifying stream, like this circuit, it sorts out who's got a good chassis, you know. Verstappen complaining that the tyres are inconsistent. He still leads the race by 6.6 seconds. But he does like to complain, even though he's leading the race comfortably. He does like a little complaint every now and then. It could always be a little bit better, I suppose, from his point of view. He could be leading by 20 seconds and be fully chilling, get your newspaper out, slippers on, cigar. So Norris is cruised up to the back of Lewis Hamilton now. It might... I mean, it'll be an exciting end of the race if Lando Norris ends up sticking a set of soft tyres on for the last, like, 15 laps or something like that. Then, you know, it could be a blockbuster finish where Norris has to then pass both Mercs and chases down Verstappen for a potential Grand Prix victory. So I guess they've gone for something different. So you got to respect that. They've gone for it strategy wise this afternoon, McLaren. They've not gone with the grain, and sometimes going against the grain can work out well for you. So we'll see. We'll see. He's going to have to pass these Mercedes boys, though. It relies on Norris doing a bit of overtaking, that's for sure. People who say it's just the car that led to Max winning it all. He's showing an example of himself making the difference. That's it, you know. You can't just say it's all the car. Yeah, Norris is all over the back of Lewis Hamilton now for third in the Grand Prix. We are on lap 31 of 66. Lando Norris, on an alternate strategy, is now on fresher tyres and catching the Mercedes pair of Lewis Hamilton and George Russell for a position on the podium. Go on then, Lando. Exactly. This is it. Karen Chandok is saying they overtake, relying on Lando Norris to pull off a handful of fantastic overtakes. Over track position is a risky strat. Well, fair play, man. McLaren have played the Joker card. And I hope it works out for them. I hope we get a grandstand finish. Here comes Lando Norris then with DRS and slipstream on Lewis Hamilton. Is Hamilton even going to defend? He's not. He lets Lando Norris through. Norris down the inside. And before they hit the braking zone to turn one, Norris takes third position off Lewis Hamilton. And Lewis didn't even bother defending that one. Gets it done. Lewis is not an easy one to pass, but Lewis let him through there. Oh yeah, headwind down the main straight. Oh, look at this, and we're getting a replay of Perez versus Ocon. Wow, nice move from Sergio Perez, I've got to say. Perez round the outside of Esteban Ocon in turn one and has pitted, I assume, for a second time then. So Perez up to 14th. Or down to 14th, should I say. Started 11th. I guess he's pitted for a second time. So, okay then, so Russell is next up for Lando Norris in this rampage through with the 6th lap fresher tyres. Verstappen leads now by 8 seconds. I just wonder if this McLaren strategy will get them second, but it has made it a more comfortable victory than it otherwise would have been for Verstappen this. Maybe that's what it's done. Unless McLaren can pull a madness, unless Norris can pull a madness and stick the soft tyres on and have a right go, I don't know. See how aggressive George is going to be. Yeah, George is up next. 2 buddies, yeah. So he's within DRS range of George Russell now then. He's not going to get it done here. Surely not. No. But maybe next lap he'll be through. And then he's got an 8-second gap to and then how much quicker can he be than Verstappen? If he gets past Russell next lap and starts closing in on Max, putting him under pressure, Max getting towards the end of the tyre life, maybe it's not over. Maybe McLaren have pulled a rabbit out of the hat here. Maybe they have. To Piastri P7 ahead of Pierre Gasly, and still Alpine up there in the points with both cars. I don't think they've had the luxury of that this season so far, having started the season so poorly. But Alpine looking pretty good. Hulkenberg's back up to P10 at the moment, but I don't know what's going on with Stroll and Perez, whether they've already done a second stop. But here comes Lando Norris. Lando Norris on George Russell. Then Russell defends into turn 1 and loses the rear end a little bit. I wonder how this is going to play out as Lando Norris then tries it round the outside of turn 3 of George Russell. He's got the traction. He's got the 6-lap tyre life. And George Russell has been overtaken here. But he's trying it back round the outside of turn 4. Surely not. He's going to have the inside for 5 though, is George Russell. And Russell fights it back against Lando Norris. A nice fight here. Oh, but Lando Norris is going to have the inside line, then going up to turn 7 and turn 8. And Norris eventually gets it done. But a nice half a lap scrap there between Lando Norris and George Russell. But Lando Norris is back up into second place. It's a 9.5 second gap now to Max Verstappen with all this fighting going on. Look at this then, Lewis Hamilton all over the back of Russell as well, all this fighting. That was a good battle, to be fair. Yeah, well, he was aggressive, wasn't he, Sean? He was, man. No, he put up a good scrap. Okay. Okay, let's see this gap now between Verstappen and Norris. How much can he slash this gap now? 9.3 seconds between the top two. I want to see that in the 8s by the end of this lap. You were right, yeah, George's going to be aggressive, not making it easy. No, it was good. It was good, fair racing. Lando Norris went round the outside at turn 3. And Russell went round the outside in turn 4. Fair play. Oh, yeah, the switchback is nice on the exit of turn 5. Nice fight, gotta say. All fair. Right, Russell pits then from third for his second stop. What are you going to do? Chuck another set of mediums on it? Is that the vibe? Is it soft, medium, medium this race? Oh, no, it's not. They're onto the hards, okay? What are they doing with Science? Science is in as well. I think that's the hard tyre as well. So what's the strat then? Soft, medium, hard. Seems to be... Yeah, because you've still got like 29 laps to go, haven't you? I wonder if Norris will go a bit longer, put the mediums on. Have they got another fresh set of mediums, or? So Russell's come back out into the race in P7 behind Pierre Gasly. Yeah, I don't think he's going to struggle that much to get past the Alpine. He's having to look down into turn 10 as a sniff, but... Oh, look at this. And look, he's got so much more grip on the exit. And he's going to go round the outside of turn 11, is he? No. And now you've got flat out turn 12 and 13 to finish off the lap. You're not going to get the move done here. Maybe down, show me down into turn 1 then. George Russell's going to get past Pierre Gasly for P6. He's going to have slipstream, DRS and fresher tyres and into a headwind. And George Russell does sweep past the Alpine and into P6 before they get into turn 1 then. So it is Verstappen that leads Lando Norris by 8 seconds. So Norris has closed the gap by 1.5 seconds in about a lap and a half. Oh, not too bad, mate. He's reeling him in. He's reeling him in. Hamilton is third, some 3.1 seconds behind Norris now. Yeah, Norris is pulling away. Norris is quicker than the Mercs, if we didn't already know that. Leclerc's fourth, Piastri up to fifth at the moment, but yet to stop for a second time. It's Russell, Gasly, Sainz, Hülkenberg and Perez, P10 at the moment then. Perez has done nothing really. That's new, that bridge that goes across the circuit, isn't it? Before turn 10. I've never noticed that before. I think it's new, that. Yeah, we need some drama, man. I know. You're not the one doing the watch along on it. You're telling me we need some drama. Yeah. Nah, man. Spanish Grand Prix, innit? I wasn't expecting a 10 out of 10 race, I'll be honest. It's interesting, strategically interesting. But that can only push your enthusiasm so far. Bring on Madrid. No. I don't really want another street circuit, but no, it's actually not been bad. We've had some good battles, to be fair. We've had some good battles, to be fair. Low expectations, then you're not disappointed. You know what I mean? This is it, Dougie. If your glass is already empty, anything that gets put into it's a bonus. You know what I mean? Forget half full, half empty. What if it's actually empty? Then anything that comes your way, filling up the glass, mate. So, yeah, I was coming into this one, you don't really get barnstorming Spanish Grand Prix at the best of times. And so it shall prove. But it's not been horrendous. Daniel Ricciardo under pressure from Esteban Ocon here with the DRS open. This is a battle for P12. It's not RB's weekend, is it? It is not. This year, not much racing action as compared to last year. I don't even remember last year. I don't even remember because at the end of the day, we got the same winner every single week. I sort of was like tuned out of it in a way. I don't know. I didn't really appreciate the fights for like the other positions because I was always longing for that battle for the lead that we never really got. $107 overtakes. That's quite a lot. Yeah, what's the gap? 6.1. Yeah. Yeah, CL2. He is catching him. The gap was 9.5. It's now 6. Okay. Come on, Lando. I back that energy. We had this in Imola, didn't we? Where the race was chilling. I was kicked back, feet up. And then all of a sudden, in the last 5 laps, everyone was in caps in the chat going, look at the gap. Lando's catching him. And I was like, hey, you know what I mean? Last 5 laps, I was like, oh, shit, this is actually on. So maybe we get that scenario again. You know, I switch off and go, oh, the battle for 12th. And then a couple of you notice in the chat that it's actually getting good. Because that's what happened in Imola. In the end, Norris didn't quite get him, did he? But it was certainly very close. So maybe we get that again because the gap is 5.8. Come on then, Lando. He's nearly halved the gap in about 6 laps or so. See you in a bit, Chrissy. Thanks for joining the stream. Hope you dropped a like. I'll never know because it's not on the screen, but... But what you will be in, Chrissy, is the next round of the Viewers' Championship, and that's the crucial thing. Bianca Bustamante in the McLaren garage. I shall say no more. First thing you do, get in. That's what we like to hear. The back markers are getting lapped now. The tyres are older than Lando's. Oh, Max might be pitting soon. Yeah. Yes, I would think so. I would think that a pit stop won't be a million miles away from Max Verstappen now on Red Bull. Lap 43 is 66. The gap between the top two is 5.2 and coming down. But before Lando gets there, Max will pit. And then you're in this situation again of like, do you react to that immediately? Or are they going to go another 6-7 laps longer than Verstappen and try and stick a set of softs on it? I don't know, mate, but it's certainly in for an interesting final dozen laps or so, I'd say. Russell not happy with his tyres. The car keeps sliding, he said. I didn't hear that, but... And Lando got to just go to the end. Yeah, I want that. I want that as a strategy, CL2. Yeah, I back it. I sign up for that now. Shake your hand on that one. Ain't do it. I mean, I don't think that'd be possible, would it? His tyres have enough wear? Maybe. I've not even considered that. You just stay out, but you're going to have Verstappen will catch you though, innit? No, if Norris stayed out, Verstappen pits in the next couple of laps, let's say, Verstappen's catching you before the end. Because Norris would be struggling. Hamilton's pitted and he's back out into the race in P7 then. Hamilton's on the softs. Oh, what? Hamilton's going to do 22 laps on the soft. On a scrub set of soft at that. Well, it's a ballsy one from Mercedes. Hamilton will be he'll be running out of tyres before the end. So Verstappen pits then. This is a crucial point of the race now. Max Verstappen is in the pits from the race lead and he's on a brand new set of soft tyres. So they reckon they can do soft tyres 20 laps. What do we got? 21 laps on the soft tyres. Now, what do you do if you're Lando Norris? Do you react to that straight away? Whoa, this is a game of chess out here today, this is one of them game of chess kind of a race between the top guys anyway. So Verstappen's back out there on a brand spanking new set of soft tyres. This is now our chance, says the team to Lando Norris. Lando Norris is now, he's got to put his foot down big time. I tell you what do you do now if you're McLaren? Look at this then. Lewis Hamilton all over the back of Carlos Sainz has a look into turn 7 but can't get the move done. But he has put Sainz offline. Surely not in turn 9. No. Back out of that one. You're going to have to do it down the pit straight. Don't even try and put yourself offline in this final sector now, surely. Unless you've got that much grip that you can just go round the outside in turn 11. But that'd be unlikely, but not impossible. He's going to have a look round the outside, but no, just getting down the end of the pit straight. Go to the end if you were Lando. Just eke it out. What's the gap? No, he's only got 17 seconds. Verstappen will catch you in that time. Oh, he's stuck between a rock and a hard place, Lando Norris, because he stays out, he's going to be caught. And if he pits, he's going to be behind Verstappen anyway. He's just relying on slightly fresher tyres. Risk it for a biscuit. Stay out there. It never works, that, though. Well, not never, but you always get caught in that scenario, though. I think McLaren are going to go another 5 laps from now. Then pit, get a new set of soft tyres on. Same as Verstappen. And then, so they match Verstappen, but the point is, their tyres, again, are going to be 6 laps fresher. And so with that, is that going to make so much of a differential that he can then go and hunt Verstappen down? Is a risk. It's a tough one. However which way you cut this, it's difficult for Lando Norris to win this. I mean, of course it is anyway, no matter what you do, innit? When he got to turn 1 and Russell went round the outside and Verstappen was down the inside, from then on it's difficult to win the race, isn't it? Oh, Lando Norris is coming in. Oh, it's just neither here nor there then. You might as well just... Well, they give something a go, didn't they? They give something a go, but... They give something a go on an alternate strategy, but in the end, I think they've give Verstappen an easy ride today, which he wouldn't have had. Oh God, I just feel like if they'd reacted to Russell in the first pit stops, they would still be right behind Verstappen now, putting big pressure on him. As it is, I think they've given Verstappen an easy win here, which they didn't need to be the scenario. Look at this then. What's this going to be between Norris and Russell? It's going to be extremely close. Russell's going to have the momentum round the outside. They're going side by side into turn one. George Russell is... Jeez, that was close. But Lando Norris is just out of the pits ahead of George Russell for second place, where he would have been 40 laps ago if he had just followed the strategy anyway. So, I mean... Has Norris now got the pace to go and chase Verstappen? Well, his tyres are only 1 or 2 laps younger, so... I feel like they've given easy ride to Verstappen today when it shouldn't have been. We're too surprised that's called McLaren remaking. Yeah, they've made it. They've made the bed now. Well, we're watching that gap. So Verstappen leads Norris by 8 seconds with what? 16, 17 laps to go. We'll see. It could still be there. It could still be there. Should we talk about Ferrari? Should we concern? They've not been brilliant, have they? They've been in that sort of no man's land. You know, I mean, Piastri's been out of position this weekend, but would you say Ferrari are the 4th fastest team here in Barcelona? You look done in. Oh, cheers, Kim. Oh, I always love a compliment. Hey, I bet you're a bit done in, aren't you? I seen you was on the Jams' stream at 4 o'clock in the morning. I seen he was live, but... What did he do? Mexico against... What was it? I can't even remember. He did a Copper America game in the middle of the night, didn't he? So I bet you're a bit done in from that, staying up till 4 or 5 in the morning. Ferrari have high hopes with their upgrades, but it still seems like they're converting to results they anticipated. Yeah, I don't know, man. Are Mercedes now faster than Ferrari? Is that the situation now heading into the middle part of the season or what? I mean, Mercedes are looking good for a decent bag full of points here as Hamilton closes in on George Russell. Like it's been a long race. What are you trying to say, Kim? No, yeah, it's been all right. It's been all right. It's not been one of those horrendous races where there's nothing to talk about. Nor has it been an absolute thriller. It's been somewhere in the middle, you know. It's been all right. It's been interesting strategically. Look at this, a Norris 6.8 behind, 16 laps to go. Can he do this? Lando pushing hard, not saving tyres at all. Wow. It is interesting because Red Bull have been caught up here today. Well, not just today, this season. Red Bull have been caught up. McLaren are there or thereabouts, and Mercedes are getting there. Ferrari, it's hard to say. They've had a bit of an off day. And I'm not sure about their development direction, but McLaren are looking very good. And Lando Norris, with the fastest lap, is now only 6.1 seconds behind race leader Max Verstappen with 15 laps to go. Well, this could be very interesting. I know your game. You can't sweeten me up now. You can't come in the stream and go, yo, you look done in, and then 2 minutes later go, you've already made your bed. You got to lie in it now. Oh no, it has been a long race to be fair. You're tired. I'm not surprised you're tired. Up all night, being part of the JA in the middle of the night. Oh, look at this. And is Hamilton going to pass Russell here under big pressure? Hamilton's got slipstream DRS and he's going to make George Russell defend into turn one. And Hamilton sweeps round the outside and Hamilton takes third off George Russell. On lap 52 of 66, it is Verstappen that leads Norris by 5.7 seconds. And now Lewis Hamilton takes third off his teammate and is 5 seconds behind. Yeah, this could be Lewis's first podium of the season in round 10. Ooh. Yeah, Lewis should get third now. Lewis should get third, Lee, now. Yeah. 10 seconds to 6. He's catching again. I know. Is Norris actually going to catch Max, or is Max just coasting? I do think Max will have this covered, but it's looking interesting. It's looking interesting. Maybe Max is just chilling, and then when Norris gets within sort of 3 or 4 seconds, Max might then go, all right, time to engage. And by then, Norris's tyres might be going off a little bit because he's used up the tyre life to get there. So we'll see. My head says that Verstappen will have this covered, but my heart wants this to go down to a last lap scrap for the win, you know, wheel to wheel, side by side across the line and all that. But you know, I would put money on that Max will have this covered, but we shall see. Let's go, Lando. But yeah, Lewis should get third now. Yeah, he said third at the start. Yeah, well, he started third, so I mean, it wouldn't be an outrageous prediction to say that the driver that starts for third finishes third, but yeah. I mean, I was half hoping maybe Mercedes were that fast that they could sort of have a fight for the win and have a look at the win, but George Russell did give it a go in the first couple of laps and led, but Verstappen soon snatched that off him and snatched the dreams off Mercedes and has looked pretty dominant there on in. McLaren have tried this alternate strategy that's now sort of merged back into the standard strategy, and you know, he's just got to do it toe to toe now. They've tried going in the opposite direction in terms of strategy, and now they're back on a level playing field. The gap's 5.3. We've got 11 laps, 12 laps to go. Go and catch him. Go and catch him. Yes, JJ, welcome to the stream, bro. Missed a lot. Yeah, it's been a decent race. It's been a decent race. It's been quite a bit happening here and there. McLaren have tried a mad strategy, and there's been a lot to talk about. It's not been, you know, it's not been a start to finish thriller by any means, but neither has it been a 1 out of 10 bore fest. It's been somewhere in the middle, which is, I can live with that. I can live with that, especially Barcelona, which doesn't produce historically phenomenal races. I can take I can take something that's mid around here. See, the gap's kind of stabilising now. You know, Norris isn't taking a second out of Verstappen now, is he? It's stabilising. The gap is 5.5. You know what I mean? Max knows what he's doing. At the end of the day, Max knows what he's doing. And he will manage the tyres accordingly. And whilst we all might get excited going, oh my God, Lando Norris taking another second out of him, Max is in the driving seat and he knows. When it gets to a certain point, he's going to sit up and take notice. Hulkenberg now closing to Ocon for P10. Yep. So get in there. I mean, both Alpines in the points, which I've mentioned a few times throughout the race, is a massive improvement on where they started the season. So Fair play. Alpine are sort of gathering it together a little bit this season after a horrendous start. Perez has basically done nothing. Started 11th, currently 9th. Arthur Leclerc in the Ferrari garage, the younger brother of Charles. .2. And it looks like Sainz is closing in on Leclerc as well. Sainz on the hard tyre, Leclerc on the soft. So we've got we've got half the grid on the softs, half the grid on the hards in the final stint as both strategies start to merge now with 10 laps to go. At this rate, Lewis will continue his 100% rate of finish on the podium at least once in all the seasons. Yeah, do you remember when that record was winning a race in every season he'd competed? Until we got to 22, and then that was put in the bin, wasn't it? Till we got to this new era of car, this ground effect car, put that stat in the bin. But yeah, fair play. He's still got the odd podium in 22 and 23, so it will continue that at least. Oh, Leclerc actually passed Sainz. Oh, right. Yeah, so Leclerc's opening the gap rather than being hunted down. Get you? The zero pod put them back a few years. He's damn right, yeah. It looks so radical, that design as well. When they come out with that zero pod at the beginning of 22, everyone's like, oh my God, Mercedes have done something radical. They're going to dominate. Nope. Turned out to be the worst thing they'd ever done. Mind you, it wasn't just the fact that they'd gone for that zero pod thing. I think just they got a few things wrong. Trying to be clever, yeah. So Leclerc being told to pick up the pace, pick up a penguin. So Norris is still... Yeah, I mean, they sort of match each other. Norris is slightly quicker, but not quick enough to catch him by the end of the race. But Norris is slightly quicker than Verstappen. Gap 4.9. Hamilton 9.3 behind Norris. So Norris has firmly beaten Hamilton today. Hamilton 2.3 ahead of Russell. Russell 2.3 ahead of Leclerc. So I guess from Ferrari's point of view, maybe they think that Russell might be up for grabs in the closing laps, and maybe a P4 is on the cards for them as we watch on the back of Kevin Magnussen's car under pressure from Daniel Ricciardo. This is for 16th place, and Ricciardo down the inside and gets the position, but neither of them will get points this weekend. Hulkenberg just outside the points now as well in P11 as the laps start to wind down. Gasly's still P8. Piastri's recovered it a little bit to P7. Well, Piastri made his mistake yesterday in qualifying. Yeah, the race is simmering down now. .7. He's going to run out of laps. You might get to within sort of 3 seconds. But he's going to run out of laps. Max is just managing this. You've missed most of this, bloody kids. Well, don't worry, Todd. It's not been as good as Canada. It's been all right. But we've not been on Canadian Grand Prix levels of excitement this weekend. Because I know you said in Canada a couple of weeks ago, it's the first race you've watched since Mark Webber retired. So, in other words, the first race you'd watched in a decade, you come into a fantastic one. This one, yeah, been all right. Can't complain. Not going to complain. But it's not been a thriller from start to finish, that is for sure. 4.7, 4.8, that gap has stabilised. Well, Verstappen will see him in the mirrors down the back straight. And he'll see him down the front straight as well, as we see a massive moment from Alexander Albon and going off into turn 4. In fact, we saw that a lot in 2022. Do you remember? They were all spinning off into the gravel on the exit of turn 4. We've not seen that since, but Alexander Albon struggling with the rear end there and ended up in the gravel. But carries on, and we do have a full roster of cars still out there. The entire grid of 20 cars still going strong, even with Logan Sargent at the back. But yeah, we've not had yellow flags. We've not had safety cars. We've had nothing. Incident-free race. Well, that's good or bad, make your mind up, but safety car does usually spice it up a little bit. Magnussen is under pressure from losing his seat in F1. Yeah, I think this is Magnussen's last season in Formula One, to be honest. He's probably going to Kevin Magnussen might move on to endurance racing and might have a good career, but I feel like this is the last season for Kevin Magnussen. Yeah, I think they're going to run with Ocon, Behrman at Haas next year. Yeah, Ocon and Behrman probably, which is not a bad team, is it really? Especially if Behrman lives up to the expectations. But I saw the feature race of the F2 this weekend, and it was like Behrman 12th, Antonelli 14th. So they're hardly tearing up trees, them two, and they're likely to both be in F1 next year. And but they're not winning in F2 at the moment, so it's a little bit of an awkward one, if you ask me. But maybe in the back end of the F2 season, they can show that they should be the two that deserve to be promoted. But at the moment, I think there'll be a few drivers at the top end of that F2 grid that are a little bit disappointed that they're not being considered for a seat in F1 next season, when you've got Behrman and Antonelli finishing 12th and 14th, and they're the two that are going to get F1 seats. Bit of a strange one at the minute, but we'll see how that pans out. A long way to go in the F2 season as well. So I can't count my chickens on that one. But 5 laps to go in the Spanish Grand Prix. Verstappen leads Norris by 4.3 seconds. Hamilton third, some 11.9 off the leads. And Russell fourth, Leclerc, Sainz, Piastri, Gasly, Perez, Ocon rounds out the top 10. Then Hulkenberg, Alonso, Zhou, Stroll, Ricciardo, Bottas, Magnussen, Albon, Snowden, Sargent, all 20 drivers still going. But the race has simmered off somewhat in the last 10 or so laps. Canada was cool, man, yeah. It's a good race, best race for a long time, that Canadian Grand Prix. I'm going to say this, if Ferrari once again struggle, Mercedes outpace them again next weekend in Austria, I think Ferrari needs to be a bit concerned. Yeah, I think Ferrari have got to bounce back in Austria from this, because Ferrari didn't do much in Canada either, did they? Norris and Russell seem to be the ones that are really sort of putting Verstappen under pressure at different moments. Ferrari haven't really featured since Monaco, have they? Well, not for the podium anyway. Just sort of behind that battle. So yeah, I agree. Ferrari have got to bounce back from this in Austria. Having said that, Leclerc is catching Russell for fourth. The gap is 2.1. So, maybe one of the Ferraris can beat one of the Mercs today. We shall see. But at the moment, it is Mercedes 3-4, Ferrari 5-6. Canada both out in Q2. Oh, yeah. Oh, savage, wasn't it? Yeah. Ferrari started 11th and 12th in Canada and then jumped off the back of that to this sort of slightly anonymous race where they're in like a no man's land, not really fighting for the podium. It's not been a disaster for Ferrari, this, but it's not been fantastic, has it? It's, yeah, they're going to be wanting more in Austria, especially coming off the back of Monaco. You're thinking that you know, I was hoping for a Charles Leclerc championship fight after that. But it's not panning out that way. It looks like Lando Norris is the nearest challenger, really, to Verstappen. He's proven himself to be, and McLaren are proving themselves to be the nearest competitor. Mercedes are having a look, though. Mercedes are having a look. But Lando Norris is having more than a look. He's having a go. I think that was my favourite race. Yeah, it was my favourite race for a long while. Definitely the race of the season so far. But yeah, this race, I can't deny, this race has simmered down the last sort of 10 or 15 laps, really. Norris is only 3.1 behind, but he's not quite going to get there. Unless Verstappen makes a mistake now. Then we'd get a grandstand finish. Where's the next two races? Austria and home race in Silverstone in Northampton. After that. So yeah, we've got Austrian Grand Prix, British Grand Prix in the next fortnight. Good, son. Go on, Lando. 3 seconds is the gap with 2 laps to go. He's not going to get there. You know, Max has paced it so that he's in control. Max has always been in control. We can get excited, but Max knows what he's doing. But if he makes a mistake, he's, you know, that's what he's relying on now. It's close, so 2.5. I could be writing this off and it could be actually on. If it goes under 2, okay. Yeah, it might all be a bit too late. It ends up like that a lot of the time. When someone's hunting someone down in those last 15, 20 laps, more often than not, it ends up that they don't quite get there because it turns out all along that the guy in front was managing his tyres the whole time and so was able to just manage the gap. So, yeah, that is a scenario that plays out more often than not. You don't often see the guy that's chasing actually hunting down, actually pass him and win the race in the last few laps, do you? That's a rarity. Usually the guy that was in the lead was managing it all along. But we have got a fight for P4. That is something that is certain. Leclerc is putting big pressure on George Russell for 4th. Oh, that'd be good. Yeah, you should try doing glitzy kind of thing for the home race. Get little twinkly bits in the studio. Yeah, some Union Jackson stuff. Yeah. Special one. Special home race event. 2.2 is the gap, but we're on the last lap now. And Verstappen's round the final corner. And Verstappen wins the Spanish Grand Prix by only 2 seconds in the end. Lando Norris put in a good race. They went for an alternate strategy. It nearly paid off. They were close, but Verstappen, again, just has enough to get it over the line. And Verstappen wins the Spanish Grand Prix ahead of Lando Norris, and Lewis Hamilton will finish 3rd and take his first podium of the season. It's going to be just about. George Russell finishing 4th, under pressure from Leclerc. Leclerc couldn't get the job done in the end, so it is Verstappen from Norris, from Hamilton, Russell, and then Leclerc, Sainz, Piastri, Perez finishes 8th, and Gasly and Ocon round out the points for Alpine in 9th and 10th. Hulkenberg just misses out in 11th. It's then Alonso, Zhou, Stroll, Ricciardo, Bottas, Magnussen, Albon, Tsunoda, Sargent. But Verstappen ekes out the victory over Lando Norris. Good race, decent race. Right, what are we saying for rate the race out of 10 and driver of the day? Do you go driver of the day, Norris? It was a good move from Russell around the outside in turn 1, wasn't it? But you can't give driver of the day to Russell, I don't think. Do you give driver of the day to Max for absolutely controlling it and, you know, being under pressure, and Russell's taking the lead and McLaren going on an alternate strategy, but in the end, Verstappen was calm, collected, and devastatingly fast and devastatingly consistent. 4 out of 10 Norris, 5. Yeah, I rate the race out of 10 would be somewhere in that middle. It wasn't bad, was it? We had Russell leading, we had the good strategy options, we had some good on-track battles. Yeah, 5, middle of the road. A 5. It wasn't awful, but it wasn't as good as like a 7, was it? Yeah, 5 out of 10 race. Driver of the day, do you go Lewis? I mean, the top 3 ended up where they started with the top. Bloody hell, the top 6 finished where they started. Yeah, they did, didn't they? What a fantastic race. The top 6 finished where they started. I'll go Lando Norris, driver of the day, because he provided some excitement with McLaren going the alternate strategy. He had to make a few overtakes. So I'll go Lando Norris, driver of the day. I'll go... No, I'm making a mistake there. Is the reality is that is Verstappen driver of the day here for soaking up the pressure, not giving a damn, and controlling the race, consistent, dominant, unstoppable, inevitable, and unbeatable. No, I'm going Max Verstappen driver of the day purely on the fact that he is unstoppable. They can all throw what they want at him. George Russell can throw a move at him round the outside. Lando Norris can throw a strategy. But Max Verstappen proves yet again he is the man. Max Verstappen, driver of the day. 5 out of 10 for the race. Thank you so much for joining me for the Spanish Grand Prix. Again, just as a last reminder, anybody that has typed a message in live chat today will be entered into the next round of the Viewers' Championship, which will be likely to be tomorrow night. But I'll try not to clash with any football. Good luck to Scotland tonight as well in the Euros. I'll be watching that. Hope they can beat Hungary and get through to the knockout rounds. But yeah, that's been the Spanish Grand Prix. Max Verstappen wins from Lando Norris, Lewis Hamilton on the podium, first podium of the season. Yes, Sharik. Bruh. Yay, Sharik. You getting in with the bruh last minute has got you a seat in the virtual Viewers' Championship tomorrow night. So thanks for that. Unbiased opinion. Yeah. That's it. Right, yeah, catch you later. Catch you later, everybody. Thanks for joining the stream. Please do drop me a like on your way out if you haven't already. Get yourself subscribed. I'll be back for the Viewers' Championship race tomorrow night, and then for the Austrian Grand Prix weekend next weekend. Catch you all later, guys. See you in a bit. Thank you so much for joining. Verstappen wins again, but it's close.